I'm back, Manakochaye. I'm back. Kupuska Peinelwa. Happy Thursday. Yesterday, accused number 3 and Advocate Munisi closed the case for accused number 3. Are you shocked? Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked. Has he actually answered to his case? There's 2 issues that I want to raise, which is the issue of the alibi. First of all, accused number 3 says that where his phone was pinging, that's where he was on the day. He did not separate from his phone. And this is supposed to be enough for an alibi for accused number 3, but it cannot be, and here is why. Accused number 3's phone, just before 8:30. Remember, Senzo Meyiwa was killed between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Now, accused number 3's phone, just before 8:30, it stops activities. So we do not know where accused number 3 was from 8:30 on the 26th of October until the next day, when the phone is on and it hits or it pings on the Moy Street tower. So that tells us that from 8:30, we do not know where accused number 3 was, because we also do not know where his phone was. His phone does not have that information, which is a problem for accused number 3, because he is using his phone as an alibi, and the phone is not giving us any information. And I think using a phone as an alibi is a very weak alibi. Your phone can be in Rustenburg and you be in Johannesburg. That's very much possible. You can forget your phone in a car. Somebody else can have your phone. Like, there's so many ways that you can be separated from your phone. So how do we know for real that you were with your phone? Unless you were taking like videos and pictures that have stamps, then that is concrete evidence that you were with your phone. So, but for now, your phone is not giving us information. And you're not giving us information because you said you were sleeping. Even if you were sleeping, your phone can still have activity on, right? Your phone should have activity on. So why were there no activities on your phone while you were sleeping? Did you switch off the phone? And why? Okay, that is the alibi issue, which I feel like he did not answer to. We don't know. He's still going to go through cross-examination. Maybe Dr. Sibanda can get something out of him. But for now, Okay, now we get into the second issue, which is the pistol, the gun. So at the beginning of the proceedings, Ncube and Advocate Munisi requested the court to amend his charges because the gun that he was charged with, he had already been sentenced and he had already served time for that gun. So it would be unfair. He said it would be unfair for me to serve time for the very same gun. So as a result, therefore, Ncube actually admits that that is my gun. I have served time for it. You can't charge me again for the same gun. That is an admission made by Ncube and Advocate Munisi. This gun they are referring to is not just any ordinary gun. It is the gun that is has been tested and confirmed to have unalived Senzo Meyiwa. That same gun, Ncube says that is my gun. Ne? Yeah. Let that sink in. So when Ncube says that he has been convicted for this gun, we had Rule Officer coming, who is a ballistic expert as well, who is the person that tested the gun for the Reggie's case, where Ncube had attempted to murder Reggie, and the gun was tested. Firstly, the gun was found by Masondo and Lamini in Ncube's case, in Ncube's house, when they were investigating the Reggie case. Now, after finding that gun, Rule Officer takes the gun and he tests it. After testing it, he matches it to the projectile that was found on Reggie, right? As a result, then Ncube was convicted for that gun, attempted murder, right? So Rule Officer comes to court. Right, this gun is Exhibit 2 in Judge Rata's court. Rule Officer says that this is the same gun that I tested. and confirmed to be accused number 3's gun. And accused number 3 then served time for this gun as he was sentenced for this gun. It is the same gun. Judge Rata Are, how do you know that this is the same gun? He says, I engraved this gun because it has no serial number. It had been, what did they do? They removed the serial number, right? It had no markings on. I created my own markings to mark this gun and show that this is the gun that I was working on. And he says he also documented that gun. So when he was shown this gun in court, he says, yes, this is the same gun. Ajata says, this gun is the gun that Mangena said that he tested and matched to the projectile that killed Senzo Meyiwa. And Rulov says, yeah, that it's possible. He did reach out to me and he saw my testing and he compared the projectile that was found at the scene and he matched. And then he went further and looked for that gun and he fired more shots and he compared and there was a match. So I am not shocked that he actually made a match. So Mangena says this gun that he tested is the gun that killed Senzo Meyiwa. It's the same gun that killed Senzo Meyiwa. Not a revolver, not Chico's gun. The gun that Rulov's tested is the same gun that matches the projectile that was found at Kelukumalo's house back then in 2014. So when Ncube was dealing with the issue of the gun, I expected him to go into more detail. I expected him to paint the picture a bit more vivid because there's been so many versions about this gun. Firstly, we were told that possible that the gun could have been changed because the seal bag that the gun was in was open. Mangena also admits that he's the one who gave us that information. He's the one who says that when I picked up this gun from Pretoria where it was supposed to be destroyed, the seal was open, right? But my ballistic scientific testing shows that it's the same gun that Rulovsa was testing, right? Rulovs also confirms that this gun that Mangena has, it's the same gun that I tested. So the gun could have swapped, something could have been removed. Because if it was removed, if that gun was altered, then Mangena's test would not be the same as Rulov's. If Mangena fired shots from that gun that was changed, he could not match it to Rulov's. And Rulov says, what Mangena matched, it's the same thing that I did. There is no difference. If I look at the work of Mangena, the test that he did with this gun, which is supposed to be different according to the version that says that it was changed, it can't be. Because then the results would be different. No two pistols can fire the same, can make the same patterns, can make the same striations. It's impossible. So that one, the gun was changed more when the bag was unsealed. Cancel. It's not gonna work. Rule officer dismisses it immediately. Okay. Number 2, Numalo comes and says that there was a projectile that was planted in 2014. Kanjani mtase, because if you are saying there was a projectile that was planted in 2014, right? And obviously that means if Mangena comes and matches this gun, it's obviously going to match because it was planted in 2014. So why are you then bringing Dave? Why did you have to bring a ballistic expert that is going to now dispute this match that Mangena did? Why are you bringing Dave? Dave Utwetsang, if you truly believe that they planted it, because if it's planted, it means it is going to match. So Dave is going to do what? What's an official minister? Dave is not coming. Obviously, Dave can come because what is your version on the gun? What are you saying about the gun? Because you can't dispute a match if you are saying you planted something. It should match. So what are you disputing with Dave's report? Nothing. Okay, let's move on. So next time anyone says to you they planted a projectile in 2014 for it in the gun to be found in 2020 or in 2015 with Nube, I want you to play this video. Okay. The next time somebody says to you the police planted a projectile at Kelukumelo's house on the day of the incident, I want you to play them this video. Just play this video for them. Thank you. The other version is the issue of a revolver. People seem to believe that because people in the house saw a revolver, Ntanzi in his confession also mentions that he had a Smolanyana gun. Zungu also mentions a revolver. Because they saw this revolver, the people in the house saw this revolver, they believe that the Senzo was then killed by this revolver, which is untrue, because as early as 2014 October, I think a day after the incident, a ballistic report says Senzo was killed by a 9mm pistol. Revolver guy. As early as the next day after Senzo Meyiwa passes, after he is shot, they say it was a 9mm. So how did we get ourselves, which evidence, apart from what people in the house saw, and Vele, they could have seen a Smolanyana gun, because Ntanzi says he had a Smolanyana gun, and Le Zungu or Le Nakemubone Ntanzi ka Smolanyana gun, so obviously it was there, but it cannot be just because you saw a Smolanyana gun. That means that Smolanyana gun is the one that kills Senzo Meyiwa. With all the work that Munisi and Ngube have done, has he actually answered to his case? The evidence that has been laid against Ngube, do you feel like he has actually answered? Because Dr. Sebanda has put it on record that Ngube's evidence throughout, from the moment he started, Advocate Munisi is the one who has been leading Ngube. He has been giving Ngube answers, suggesting answers for Ngube, and Ngube has just been giving us opinions, right? The court also agreed with that and said that, yeah, it knows what to do with irrelevant evidence. But let's just move on. At this point, Judge Rata just wants Munisi to finish. So say what you gotta say. I am not going to interrupt you. Sibanda, now sit down. Don't object. I know. But let's not delay this trial. Right? I know what to do with irrelevant evidence. Now, Mr. Munisi says that he disagrees with the fact that it's irrelevant evidence because Brigadier Gininda came here and gave us a bunch of opinions. Now, the court says that, do you believe in expert opinions? Munisi says yes, but Brigadier Gininda is just like Ngube. They are not experts. I'm like, excuse me? A brigadier is not an expert. Yeah? He is not an expert in investigations. Yeah? Highway Ngube might not have answered to his case, or he might not have put evidence that is putting us into confidence as a country that he was not there at the Kumalo house on the day. He was in Johannesburg with his phone, right? He might not have answered to that, but he will be confronted by the good doctor during the cross-examination, and he will not have anywhere to hide. But to answer the good doctor's questions. And I'm saying to you guys, because Ngube is done and Ramusipile is busy now. I don't know what Ramusipile is doing, but they must not even try and delay the doctor from starting with cross-examination, because if they want Sibanda to start on Monday, Sibanda Otoba Jimela during the weekend and Otoba destroy on Monday. Don't do that. I know you guys are gonna try and push it. Ramasipile is gonna try and push it today till lunch. Umalolena is gonna push it tomorrow. In the morning tomorrow, and then Mshololena Otlofitla. Ha, my lord. I think I will finish on Monday. Ne, don't ever make the mistake of giving Sibanda the weekend to prepare for the cross-examination of Ncube. Don't do that mistake, please. I ask nicely. He has already said we are wasting time. We've wasted I don't know how many hours. Sibanda is on the clock. Don't give him that chance. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Hamsapili is busy with the cross-examination. I don't know if it's a cross-examination or what, but he needs to wrap it up. Wrap it up, Hamsapili, please. Thank you very much. Bye.